Hey guys, just wanted to cover a few things really quickly with you guys about the setup and how to what's going to come in the package with the kit, and how to just a rough overview on how to install this. I'm going to do a detailed version and have pictures and video, but I just wanted to cover this really quickly with you. This is the second time I take this video because the first one ended up 26 minutes long. So, this is for the Imperial Gunner. If you are getting this, what's most likely going to be in it are the red and white lens, the bracket, a screw nut and wing nut, piece of felt, and optional is going to be a blue lens. I know that Jason Hill includes the blue lens on his comm box that he sends out, but if you need it, I have it. You can always order it as an extra. This is, as I said, Jason Hill's setup. You can see he has two fictitious buttons there. They don't really do anything. They're just screwed in there, and then you have one real lens up at the top. So what you'll have to do is, first things first, is leave the screw in place, because you can actually use that as a guide. You're going to grab the bracket, and if you read it, you can see that it says bend front, push back. This is the front, bend front, right? So when you're done, it's going to look something like this. I know this is not pretty, but this is it. Now, before I go that far, what you're going to need is lighter. So you can heat this up. Please do not keep the heat on there. You will burn it, melt it, catch it on fire, and it does not smell great. You're going to need a drill bit 3/8. This actually matches the diameter of the button, of all three buttons. Super glue, because everything gets sticky with super glue. Gets stuck together, whatever. Super glue. Depending on the setup that you have for your Imperial Gunner, you're going to either get, or if you get a Snowtrooper, you're either going to get a clicky switch, and that's default, or you can upgrade to a magnetic switch. I would recommend this mostly for gunners. If you do not want to cut or drill a hole into the side of the helmet to feed the wire through, and then this would sit on the inside of the helmet, you can hot glue it into place. This would be hanging on the outside. The comm box would plug into this, and then you would screw it into place. But this is an optional to do the upgrade for the gunner. I'll show you in a minute why I love the magnetic switch instead. But what would happen is either you can have this on the inside of the helmet, or you can leave it inside the comm box, and when you take it off the helmet, you can turn it off, right? So it's a nice tactical clicky switch. I'm going to try to do this as quick as I can before the nice spotlight I have over here turns off. So I'm also going to provide a magnet. If you get the magnetic switch, you're going to get one of these lovely washer looking magnets. I am going to also provide a little magnetic buckyball, and depending on which one is liked most is what will be continued to be provided. I'm not going to provide both options all the time. It's just whichever wins stays. So as I said, you apply heat, you bend front, so you'll end up having something like this. Apply heat again, bend back, so you have something like that. Now the bottom one is going to be a little trickier. Oh, and as you can see, this is a prototype actually. The lines don't really match up. It's a little bit longer. So what would happen is the bottom is the tricky part, because as you can see, it's sloped, because the comm box itself is sloped, right? As you can see here, it's it's sloped. Let me see if I can find a good angle. There you go. As you can see, it's sloped, right? So it's going to be a little tricky at first to get it. Once you get it, you're good to go. Each comm box is going to be a little different. As you can see, this was actually prototyped on my old comm box, the original one that I had gotten from him. So it's not really touching, and there's also another reason why I made it a little bit longer on this one so that it does touch. So that's why you're going to want the screw to stay there, because you're going to constantly want to fit and make sure that it is fitting. Come back, burn, heat up, don't burn, bend. Now when you heat it up and you bend it, you're going to have to hold it into place. And once it cools off, it's going to stiffen up, and it's going to hold that position. It is a little flexible, and that's good, because you want something that's going to have a little bit of a give, because when you tighten up that screw, if you tighten it too much, you don't want to break something by accident, whether inside the comm box or the bracket or anything like that. So it does have that nice little give to it. So just to cover this really quickly, because as I said, don't want this to be a 26-minute video. Once bracket completed, right, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, you're going to remove the really long screw. Okay. Remove the really long screw. It's going to come out the back, as you can see. So now I have no white button. I'm going to remove the antenna. You're going to proceed to remove the red one. Just give me a second. Once you remove the red one, now you have the pilot holes for where the buttons are going to go. You're going to grab your 3/8, and you're going to drill right into that pilot hole, right into this pilot hole, and be very careful. You don't want to cut yourself or hurt yourself, right? Safety first. Once they're made, you can go ahead, you can put these in, and you're gonna glue them down. They should sit pretty flush. If not, you can push a little bit and then glue it down. You're gonna use the super glue for that. And like I said, the white's gonna go back here, so you're gonna have white, red, blue. Once you have those in place, you're gonna then proceed to grab the LEDs, right? And then you're gonna go ahead and hot glue them into place. And if you feel like using regular super glue, by all means, it's your choice, it's your setup. I say hot glue because in the end, you can always remove the system and use it and anywhere else. It's just a matter of changing the programming in it. If you want to use this for Snow Trooper, you can always remove this and use it for Snow Trooper and just upgrade the programming that I'll be providing on GitHub. So once that's all in place, as you can see, the blue actually sits there pretty nicely. Once all that's hot glued into place, you're going to leave the rest hanging off the side. Now I'm holding on to this because this one's actually not completed yet, but you're going to leave it hanging off the side. You're going to then grab your bracket. Let me just remove it for now. You're going to then grab your bracket. Let me get this screw ready here. Grab the screw in the antenna. You're going to thread the screw through the antenna, then through the bracket. Once it's in place, you're going to actually use the nut, either the one that was originally with the setup or the one I provided. You're going to use it to tighten it up and hold the antenna into place, because when you remove the comm box, you don't want that screw to get loose and wobble or come out. So now it would be a matter of threading the antenna. And as I said, this bracket's not for this setup, but you can get a good idea of what's going to happen is you'll set it into place where it's supposed to go. You're going to glue up at the top where it meets, and then where it meets on the bottom, you're going to glue it down. If you need to pull it out and adjust, do it obviously before you add glue. Just minor adjustments. If It doesn't need too much of an adjustment, and it's not that bad. You can always sort of put a little bit of pressure, then apply the glue, and the glue will hold that into place, that bracket. It would just have a little bit of tension, and it isn't going to go anywhere. But you can see clearly why I'm saying add the LEDs. That's going to have to be number one, first on the list, because there's no way, without getting extremely frustrated and rage quitting, that you're going to get these LEDs in there. So once that's done, felt, they're cut a little bit bigger. If you want to trim it down to the right size, you could. You're going to make a hole where the screw is, and then what I did with mine is I hot glued the front and hot glued the top, so it allows me to get in through the side, right? And I can adjust everything. Also, another thing I want to point out, if you look, you can see there's a nice cavity up at the top. So what's going to happen is that's where the system is going to sit, is up on that nice top cavity. Now, one of the cool things is if you have the magnetic switch, what's going to happen is you can either choose to put it up against the wall up here. Let's see if I can show you. There you go. You can either hot glue it up against the wall up there, or you can hot glue it up along the top here. Yeah, I think that's going to be best. Let me show you like this. You can either hot glue it on the inside up on the top here, or you can hot glue it along the edge here on the inside. And what's going to happen is the antenna is actually attracts magnets. Hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to adjust this. The antenna attracts magnets. So the cool part is I'm going to provide, as I said, a buckyball and this washer magnet. It's actually a magnet, but it looks like a washer. It has a nice hole. I'm going to provide one of each to the first few sets that I sell for Imperial Gunner and get some feedback on which one is preferred. Now this will be painted flat black or probably glossy black because it's glossy, just so that it matches and it doesn't ruin CRL. But what would happen is you would thread this up at the top, thread it, thread, there we go, thread it and bring it all the way down, right? So if the magnet is here along this edge or along the side edge, when you apply the magnet and you sit it flat, that will actually turn on the system. And if you move it up, it turns it off. So the beautiful part about this is you're not going to lose this magnet. And if you do, oh my God, that is a long way for the magnet to travel to get lost. The buckyball, that is a little trickier. It is still really cool. I still like the buckyball idea. What would happen is the buckyball would actually rotate on the outside of this, of the antenna. And if you have the magnet along this side, sorry, the magnetic switch along this side, if you put the magnet there, it's going to turn it on. If you switch the magnet to the other side, it actually doesn't switch it on, it turns it off. So that's one of the cool things, is you can move it around. Now you could shake and the magnet will stay into place. And the only reason why you saw this move up is because I'm not really holding it on the inside. So it shifted as I was shaking it. But what would happen is the buckyball would actually stay in place. Okay, maybe if you smack your helmet against the floor, it will shift. But for the most part, I'm going to provide the two for the first few sets that order, let me rephrase that order the magnetic system. I'll provide that. But there's a quick overview on how this should be set up. Well, thanks for watching.